Welcome, one and all. I'm just realizing that for some of us it's summer, for some of us it's winter, for some of us it's morning, for some of us it's evening, and it just brings me really a lot of joy to realize that we really are coming together from such disparate geographical locations. It's really cool. We're delighted to practice together today with Kevin Fong and Jen Heng as our facilitators, and to be practicing at this time that allows some people who don't usually get to come to Sunday Sangha because it's the middle of their night to be with us. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jen and Kevin, and everyone enjoy your practice. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Nancy. A warm welcome to everyone. I'm Jen. How wonderful to see and sit with friends. So as we settle in, let's begin with our sit first. So we'll have about 10 minutes of lightly guided sitting meditation. So just allowing the body to settle into your seat or into your chosen posture. Now just invite the bell as we begin. So if you'd like, allowing the eyes to close. We begin with the pause that many of us would know so well. Feeling into the seat. Letting gravity help us invite this weight of the body, this grounding in this moment, this settling to gently, slowly, naturally happen. This generous act of returning ourselves to the present moment, to reconnect with the here and now. And as we establish in mindfulness, we get a chance to check in with how this body is, how this mind, this heart are in this moment. And as we pause, we can allow and receive anything that is known in our experience. this second generous invitation to relax, seeing how this invitation might touch any places of tension and holding in this body. Maybe sensing around the face, the shoulders, the arms, or maybe for some of us in the breath. Seeing if we can trust the letting go that happens with every outbreath. Just a natural letting go and releasing. Pause, relax, allow. Generous invitations that we can offer to ourselves again and again. Pause and relax. Help us come into this kind receptivity that gently guides us into the third guideline, open. Perhaps sensing now how this body is already in contact with the outside world through the sense of touch, through the sense of the ears, Sensing this flow of awareness of what's known internally, externally, and the flow between the two. And then noticing how there is a felt sense of the space that you might be in, even if your eyes are not open. And then perhaps, if you wish, if you feel ready, you might even allow the eyes to open a tiny bit, even as we continue in this meditation, seeing what it's like to open to seeing, to that little bit of light coming into the eyes. And in your own time, whenever you feel ready, allowing faces, the screen to be received, these other beings that we're here together with, opening to this shared space, this generous space of 23 people together now. Pausing, relaxing, and opening.
Mm. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening um, to everyone from wherever you are in different part of the world. Um, just I'm feeling the generosity and the support of this sitting together, almost with the words that just being together is so supportive to me, and I hope you may also feel the supportiveness wherever you are. Um, Again, I'm just really very excited and happy to see so many faces, some familiar, some are new. So whoever you are, wherever you are, welcome to join the Sunday practice. At least it's Sunday in the in Asia time zone. I know not everyone is Sunday, but at least it's Sunday morning at like 8:15 here in Asia. My name is Kevin. Today, I'll be co-facilitating with Jane. And for me, I'm actually speaking from Beijing, China, at this very moment. And I'm so glad and happy to have these opportunities to share and practice with you all uh, from all around the world today, this morning. And to start with, after this initial sit, I think both Jin and I would spend a little bit of time to introduce ourselves, especially to some new friends that we haven't met before. So um, for me, I actually was touched initially by Dharma when I was actually working in Vietnam back in 1995. Actually, it was quite some time ago. But then I only become more serious with my practice since I actually came to China much later. And for me, I got a taste of relational Dharma from my training in the University of Massachusetts Center for Mindfulness back in 2011. But then it was only a few years later, and in 2014, I eventually went to attend my first Insight Dialogue retreat with Gregory in the USA. So this is kind of like the progression of how and ever since then I got hooked into the practice of Insight Dialogue. So I'm so happy to have this chance to share with you all today. And actually, as someone who have moved around quite a lot, actually in the last 35 years, that I worked in 5 different countries in Asia, in Europe, now ending up in China. I really have the privilege and joy, but also the first-hand experience of relational challenges and stress from meeting and living with different cultures, languages, histories, conditioning, and long-held perception of mind, as well as with all those people that I met in different countries. So I can really testify to how Dharma and mindfulness and Insight Dialogue have helped me to navigate such a diverse and challenging landscape and life experience that I have had so far. Time and again, I felt I was really being supported, not only relationally, but with myself, to pause, to relax and open to myself, as well as to anyone and anything that I come into contact with. And it really enabled me to see more clearly, and thereby, lessening the clinging, the tightening that I encounter so often, especially when I move from country to country and do different things. And now sitting where I am in Beijing, in China, I can really see and feel the stress and suffering that has really increased tremendously with the widening polarization in the past few years, the East and West, the have and have not, we human and the rest of the species that we share the planet with, not to mention different ideology, politics, opinion, and extreme weather. So for me, really more than ever, I feel the value for myself and people in not only to practice Dharma on the cushion, but really to practice it together and relationally together. So this is why, I just want to share why Insight Dialogue is so, to me, so important, and why I really treasure this opportunity to meet everyone in this virtual environment here, so we can practice together, so we can have a chance to know about each other and to practice. So I really look forward to what is to come in the next hour or so. So on that, I'll actually pass it to Jen so she can introduce herself to us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kevin. So, hello everyone from Hong Kong. My name is Jen, and as I thought about how I would introduce myself, I thought, I am a a wife, a friend, a Dharma and Insight Dialogue practitioner, a member of the LGBTQIA community. And I notice as this string of identities, I suppose, came out, I thought, how does it feel to situate myself in this diverse human universe and this Insight Dialogue community? And then I realized that I wanted to acknowledge all this and more as I open and allow myself to be received here with all of you. So I'm immensely grateful and glad to be doing this with you and with Kevin. Insight Dialogue has really become a home base for my practice, and I'm so glad to see many familiar faces here. It's yeah, the comfort and the joy and the support is felt so easily when I see you all. So I'm part of a facilitator cohort together with Kevin, and mentored by Beth and Dave, who are both here together with us. And I'm also part of the Queer Insight Dialogue Sangha. And together with a close group of spiritual friends, we frequently practice and co-facilitate a number of different practice groups, Insight Dialogue practice groups, online and in person. So it has been such a privilege to witness and participate in the growth of Insight Dialogue in Asia Pacific that's really taken place over the last few years and really taken off since COVID opened up the online opportunities for us as well. So yeah, my sense of gratitude and connection with Insight Dialogue is yeah, immense. And as Kevin and I have been reflecting on Dana, which is the topic of the Sunday Sangha series, I found my mind coming back again and again, both to physical and online experiences of being in either, again, a Dharma hall somewhere in a monastery or a center, or being with people in this kind of virtual Dharma hall, and how easily that feeling of generosity, it just lands for me, this sense of, where did these teachings come from and how do we end up here together practicing? I think of all the people who have sat together over the years, the hours of practice, the countless meta phrases that have been shared with each other and with all beings. Or even each time when we come together and we offer each other gifts of non-harming and kindness and support. And it in Insight Dialogue practice as well, the guidelines, each and every one of the guidelines is a gift of generosity. When we did the meditation earlier, I pointed to, I think hopefully something we all know well. Every time we pause and relax with ourselves and with another, it's this dual invitation into mindfulness and kindness. And when we open, it allows for that mutuality where we enter this flow of I'm here with all of you and I'm not alone. And that feels incredibly generous, especially when sometimes it's so easy to forget. And when I thought about attuning to emergence, this image came up of this open hand that releases the past moment, but it's the same hand that allows me to receive this new moment. And then last but not least, listening deeply and speaking the truth. And here I am going to take a gift from a recent practice partner who described how we muddle along together and find our way towards seeing more clearly. That's, for me, a beautiful description of the generosity of listening deeply and speaking the truth. So, as we sit in the middle of this flow of generosity, I wanted to also share Kevin and my process in the many meetings we had to prepare for this topic and this contemplation and this practice today. And I noticed how we kept circling around something so profound and so simple, which is that dana is just like the rest of our practice, an opportunity and an invitation to see both our tendencies sometimes, or towards clinging, and the possibility of freedom. So it kind of led us towards the invitation to explore this path factor of uh, right effort or wise effort. Through our exploration of this topic, we will get a chance to notice and cultivate wholesome qualities, maybe even the wholesome qualities that may have landed and were felt when I was naming the guidelines or naming how we've received all these teachings and the support of our friends and how many wholesome qualities might have arisen in that moment. And sometimes it offers us a different opportunity, which is to investigate the potential of letting go if and when we notice some tightening, some hindrances that might arise. And knowing that both of these are wise effort. We don't have to prefer or look for one or the other. They're both examples of wise effort. And the wonderful thing is, the Buddha has said it is possible to abandon what is unskillful and to develop what is skillful. It is possible. I've read that numerous times over the last day, and every time it brings this little boost of energy for me. It is possible. If it were not possible, I would not ask you to do so. So, as we approach the contemplation, we will be inviting you to inquire, how is recollecting and being mindful of generosity an opportunity, a condition for letting go, and for the arising and increase of skillful, beneficial qualities of the mind and heart? How might we apply wise effort in the here and now in our time together as we continue our exploration together on the topic of dana?
I wonder whether there's some kind of technical or bandwidth glitches, but anyway, thank you, Jin, for the introduction of launching us into today's exploration. And actually, in today's practice, actually we have planned or organized a number of contemplation that we'll be practicing together, and you will be doing that. I'll invite you to do that with a diet partner. And firstly, with a separate speaker and listener, and then we will have time for a period of open dialogue. And what I'll try to do is, as I unfold the contemplation, I'll be using the voice broadcast after you've gone into the breakout room to inform you when to switch over, and then to give further instruction for the next layer of investigation with your meditation partner. Now, I just want to say it ahead of time that should you experience any hearing problem in terms of the voice broadcast or any other problem, perhaps you can first of all check with your meditation partner to see whether he or she could help you if you're listening, if your device may not receive the voice podcast so clearly, or you could press a button in the background room to ask for help, and then wait for us to come in. And if for some reason you couldn't wait, you couldn't see us, please do come back to the main room. We will always have someone in the main room to provide any assistance that you may need. So just to say that the logistic side, if there's any issue there. And just like what Jane said, all the teaching and also the Insight Dialogue guideline is really a generosity that we have received over the years for generations. And of course, we can utilize any of them during our practice. But in this particular investigation that we're going to have, I would probably say pause and opened will be especially supportive throughout today's practice and inquiry. So just even now, bringing in the pause into this space to listen, to see how does it land, in terms of inviting pause just right now into this listening. And then opening to our internal experiences and noticing how you experience yourself and your partner's sharing. And even opening to notice how the internal and external experiences interact and interlace, even just now. How do you feel now after hearing what I just invite? That's the pausing. That's mindfulness, opening to it. And with that, actually, I would like to, with this space of pause and mindfulness, I would like to invite you to recall a recent experience of generosity where you could be the giver, you could be the receiver, or just the witness in an act of generosity of giving. What may spring to mind? This act of generosity could be within your family, like if you're giving support to an elderly uncle or aunt, or your cousin or a sibling. But also it could be within your community, like in the school, in a parent associations or sport club, or your Sangha, with your church, with the monastery that you go to, or even just this virtual monastery. I would like to say that we are together like this one, something that you have done. And the generosity could be in material form, like donation, or it's just a sharing of your time, your skill set, your effort. But just try to recall, remember anything that touched you in a meaningful way, whatever that may be. There's no right or wrong, some like episode or memory, just at this very moment, touching into that. And then as we go into the breakout room, which we will do in a short moment, of course, you can choose who will be the first speaker and the first listener. But if that helps and makes things easier, I would like to suggest that whoever's clothing have a darker color to start first, if that works for you. And to feel into how is it like to give, to receive, or just to witness an act of generosity. The invitation for the speaker would be pausing to feel into it. What does this memory evoke in the body, in the mind, in your whole being? Open to the felt sense as you recall this act. And even how does it feel to you now? Feel into it, allow ample pause, and then give voice to it to share with your partner. And for the listener, just to practice a kind of internal pause and simply listen with an open and receptive view of awareness, noticing what happened internally as you receive your partner's experience. So with the sound of the bell, I will invite Nancy to send us into the breakout room. And take your time, no need to rush. Whoever speaks first, take your time, say hi, and then take your time to start. And then when the time approach, I will ring a bell in the voice broadcast to let you know when to switch to the next speaker. So take your time with the sound of the bell. We can start our practice as we go into the breakout room. Pausing, perhaps even relaxing into the moment after the speaking or listening. And now we'll switch roles with the listener become the speakers to share your experience tracing further upstream as to that moment of contact when you were being asked to support, to contribute, or to help another, your community. What arises here and now as you recall that? Give yourself ample of time to pause and feel into it and to speak your truth of the moment. With the invitation of the bell, completing whatever you are sharing, and perhaps bringing the attention or the mindfulness into internally. Whatever you have listened to, whatever you have shared, how does it feel for you now? Allowing that to resonate, just to be known, and even opening to it. In the next round, we will actually let go of the form of separate speaker and listener and entering into an open dialogue with your meditation partners. So the invitation is, what did you notice now from this process of sharing with your partners? How did you meet your own inner discovery? And how did you receive your meditation partner's sharing? As every moment is conditioned by the previous moments, and this very moment of experience can be used to condition the next. And given your own experience and understanding, and if the teaching of wise effort is familiar to you, you may actually want to explore with your partner how might the teaching of wise effort inform your practice and even support you how you shape your next moment. Again, allow ample pause to feel into it. Recall this act, the experience, and even the teachings of wise effort, and open to listen deeply to yourself and to each other during this period before speaking your own truth. There are plenty of time, so take your time.
Welcome back. Pausing, relaxing, and opening to this larger group space, all the faces. Hmm. Really taking it in. And continuing our practice together as we share the fruits of um, how the practice has been for you so far. And remembering that if we do decide to share, we can speak the truth, offer it as a gift to our other friends here. And when we listen, we're also offering a gift of our presence, of our attention. So, wise effort and the practice of dana in the here and now. So, please feel free to unmute if you'd like to share. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy and Jean, and the many, many others that make it possible for IDC to exist, for us to be here. So much gratitude. So let's just close together, final pause, taking in again all of our practice partners on the screen. And then feeling into the heart of what's here right now, this pause, this mindfulness that opens the door to so many other wholesome qualities and the opportunity to bring kindness and investigation where there's still more work and more possibility to let go. We can receive all of that together with the support of our friends. And may the benefits that we have received and cultivated through this practice be shared with all beings everywhere. May all beings be safe. May all beings find peace and ease. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace for all beings. May there be peace.